Good morning. My name is Dave McClure. I'm the founding partner of 500 Startups. Thank you. Christine, if you could stand up and take a bow also. My co-founder, Christine Tsai, here in the front row. She does all the work. I take all the credit. We're working on changing that. Really happy to have you all here. This is our 4th year running PreMoney. Big thank you to our event partners, Gunderson Detmer and JP Morgan Chase. Gunderson Detmer helps keep me out of jail most of the time. Our annual partners, platinum sponsors, Rackspace, SendGrid, which is also a 500 company, WeWork, TalkDesk, also a 500 company, and new Microsoft and IBM. Our gold sponsor, Amazon Web Services, and our silver sponsors, .co, Internet, and again, Gunderson Detmer. Some housekeeping. Our Wi-Fi network is PreMoney. The password is PreMoney, all one word, lowercase. All of our speaker slides, if they're not already up there, will be. That's at slideshare.net/500startups. I guess SlideShare is now a Microsoft property as of the LinkedIn acquisition, or soon to be. The hashtag for today is #PreMoney or #PreMoneySF. And the videos of these talks will be up on YouTube at youtube.com/500startups. We also have videos of previous years up there as well. And if you just can't get enough 500, we have a swag store or swag store outside, depending on your pronunciation. 500 t-shirts and hoodies are available. There's stickers all over the place already. Those are free. And you can also get that online if you happen to miss it. We are shameless marketers. So I'm just going to say a few words before we get started. We're running a little bit late. Our first speaker up is going to be Anand Sanwal from CB Insights. He's going to do a presentation on a bunch of emerging trends, probably some talk about broken unicorns, and then we'll all cry on stage with him afterwards. For those of you who are not familiar with 500 Startups, what rock have you been living under? We are a global VC fund, have about 250 million under management. About 125 people on the team, a third of whom don't live in this country nor were born here. We've invested in over 1,500 companies to date. A few of them are still alive. About a third of those are outside the US, spread across 60 countries. Our team is in about 20 countries. What else can I brag about right now? We are a startup as much as a VC firm, so definitely we are an investing entity. We run accelerator programs here in Mexico City and investing programs all over the world. But we consider ourselves as much a startup as an investor. It's really been quite a journey over the last 5 or 6 years. Christine and I started the company in 2010. We're kind of still amazed that we're here and alive. A few things are working these days. I think a few comments on the industry. There's been a lot of ups and downs, particularly in the last 6 months. I hear a lot of people in the press who've been telling the downturn story for at least the last 5 years. Eventually, they're going to be right. I think maybe in the last 6 months, we started to see the market calm down a little bit, but I would just still observe for the record, if investing has dropped maybe 20 or 30% and valuations have dropped 20 or 30%, it's still not the worst fucking thing in the world to be in Silicon Valley. Last time I checked, there are more people online, buying more stuff than ever online, creating more businesses online. So I would like to observe for the press, just because valuations might have been slightly out of whack over the last year or two, innovation is not in short supply. And that is not a Silicon Valley story, that is a global story. I can tell you, I personally visit about 20 or 30 countries a year. I just came back from a 3-week, 7-country, 9-city tour in Middle East, Europe, and Hong Kong. There's plenty of innovation and plenty of entrepreneurship to go around. What there isn't always is available capital in all of those markets, although that is changing. One of the things that I think is a very positive development, particularly in Europe and in Southeast Asia, there's a lot more seed funds and a lot more investing going on than there was 5 years ago. In India, that's up and down, but certainly more than there has been 2 or 3 years ago. In Latin America and the Arabic-speaking Middle East, there's certainly more to be done, and in Africa as well. But we're seeing markets all over the world. I think the old adage of you can't take Silicon Valley outside Silicon Valley is frankly just not true. Certainly in markets like Beijing, in London, in Dubai, in Bangalore, there's really innovation happening all over the world now, and in probably at least 50 to 100 metros, there's a substantial amount of venture capital activity, although certainly in places it could be more than it is today. So I think that, it's not uncommon for us to see ups and downs in the market, but to observe that the sky is falling or to somehow equate today as if it were 2008 or 9 or 2000, 2001 is just flat out wrong. That's absolutely not the case. At worst, there might be a question about what valuation and pricing is, but hopefully with the Twilio IPO later this week, knock on wood, we will have our first IPO in our portfolio. I think there's plenty of other companies in the wings that are going to be coming out. There's certainly lots of acquisition activity happening, as we've just seen with LinkedIn and several others. So although we might be down 20 or 30% from our peak over the last 6 months or so, it's certainly not a time for pessimism to set in. If anything, innovation is on the rise all over the world. That's true here in the Valley as much as ever, and we'll hear from some of the Draper family like how that's gone up and down over the last 40 or 50 years. But innovation is not in short supply. And I would encourage all of you who are here to express your optimism, not your pessimism, but the potential for the future. We certainly feel that at 500 Startups, and we're going to be putting our money where our mouth is. With that, I will say, hopefully, all of you who are looking and watching online, we're webcasting this live. For the suckers in the room, you had to pay for that privilege, but everybody's watching it at home free of charge. I don't know why you did that. But we're going to welcome Anand Sanwal, CEO of CB Insights, up on stage to give us a little bit of insight into emerging trends. And after his presentation, I'll try and grill him on all the foolish lies he's been telling people all these years. Welcome, Anand.